eBay sales are absolutely crazy, so I wore my eBay hoodie to celebrate. Alpal, what sold?
What? All right, so this eBay weekend was the best weekend of sales for eBay we've had in a long time. So yeah, all this sold, I think 21 items in total. I'm gonna try to get all the prices right for stuff. We'll start over here. I recently listed like probably 15 Sideshow figures. So if you see figures, look on the back. If they say Sideshow, it's just a good brand. People are looking for them. Every single figure that I have listed has watchers. I think we took an offer on this for 80, I think it was. This is actually a G.I. Joe figure, sold for 76. This Hulk figure, this is a Ron Hobby Shop item. This sold for 150. I think we have two others listed in different conditions. This is a knife, a case knife, shark tooth, I believe sold for 150. This is a strategy guide. I just listed about 25 of these different ones in different conditions. I think I took an offer on that for 65. One person bought both of these Mark's toys. They've been sitting here for, I don't know, I probably listed those 6 months ago, maybe. I think they sold for about 140, 150 together. And this bad boy accepted an offer for 635. And I don't know, hey Chase, is this Xenoblade like a population 1?
It definitely would be low. I mean, it's modern, so whatever, but that's literally like the highest grade you can get.
So yeah, that sold for 635, great sale there. These two, I forget what these are called, Super Tops, I think they're called. Vintage cards sold for, I think around 60 together. Don't remember what that card sold for. But this little coin here, see if I can get that in focus. This little tiny coin sold for $100. This LeBron James card set sold for, I don't remember exactly. 140, thank you, Chase. 140 there. This SimCity, can't remember. I think that was like the cheapest of the day. This might have been like $15. This is another knife set, sealed, I can't show you it, but this sold for, I don't know, 150, I think, somewhere around there. Sorry, there's too many prices to remember, so get over it. This is another knife set. Yes, I will screenshot everything so people can know. There it is. Yes, this actually did sell for 150. This watch here, I don't know where we got this from, but this sold for 50 bucks. This marble from Ron, Hobby Shop Ron. We've had it listed for a long time. I finally got it out of the plastic casing that it was in because people couldn't see the markings that they wanted to. And I finally got it. I relisted it with different pictures of it opened, and this sold for 150. And then the best sales of the weekend, these two, if you know, from a few weeks back, maybe a month back, I listed these and found out that they were super high end. So together they sold for over $700. So I think this one sold for $375 and this one sold for $350. So like I said, an amazing weekend of sales. I think the total sales were $3,119. So definitely not gonna complain about that. So I'm gonna ship out these boxes, but first Sky Guy had a question.
So how do you, I guess, how do you ship out stuff that is like very flimsy and obviously old?
Yeah.
I'd be scared to ship this, especially with how fragile it is.
Right.
It looks like you packed some stuff on the inside. Can you go over that?
Yeah, generally like this one, I mean, these were super expensive, so I'm gonna bubble wrap these up the wazoo. But for anything that's flimsy, I usually try to pack pretty well. I usually use bubble wrap, not craft paper, because craft paper isn't, it's not gentle enough with the stuff inside the packaging. Mm-hmm. So generally I try to pack the boxes full so they get a little more rigid and a little less flimsy. So I'll like pack a little bubble wrap around that as well. And then I might, depending on how the price, I might bubble wrap them around a little bit more. And then I'll put them in a box as well.
Yeah, you're not slapping a label on this.
Right. No, yeah, I'm not, yeah.
Okay.
Not just putting that in a bubble, but yeah.
Good to know, because with the hobby shop, we had lots of really flimsy stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just curious if you found the best way to
ship it out.
Generally
Generally what I do is I try to pack it full of stuff to make it a little
And then
firmer.
if it's like a low dollar small box that's equally as flimsy as this, do you still bubble wrap the outside of that and put it in a box, or does it just kind of depend on?
If it's not expensive, I generally, I'll still make sure the stuff.
It's not moving around.
Yeah,
in
the
box.
contents inside the box isn't moving around, but I probably won't bubble wrap it.
Okay.
So for individual cards, I think we've gone over before, but for individual cards on eBay, you can do eBay standard envelope, which is just basically a cheaper way to ship. I think it's like under $1 for individual cards usually. But what we like to do is we like to put them with another top loader and then throw them in a team set bag. And then we have these little thank you cards. We used to ship them in bubble envelopes, and we found out the bubble envelopes are too thick and they can get lost in the mailing process. So now that we've started using these thank you cards, we haven't had any issues with it. And then also for shipping, we're not just shipping eBay, we're also just shipping tons of whatnot from Friday. Matt's shipping. I think Skylar's over here.
All right, I'm getting a bunch of manual
shipping
lots together.
And let's just show you like some stuff for whatnot. Everything down this lane sold on whatnot. So everything here. This is almost all fire sales.
There's another bin.
A VHS slot, more fire sales, die-cast cards. I think there's at least, yeah, there's another fire sale bin over here. So this whole shelf was full of games for fire sales, and we sold them all. And then we also have these sets of cards all sold, some baseball, some basketball, some football, and all these manuals, all these sets of manuals that you see sticky noted, those all sold because we had a huge manual whatnot. These sold. And then Sky Guy Friday, you already shipped out a ton of stuff, right?
I shipped out like 43 orders already.
Dang, that's awesome.
And we still have all this left.
What was it mostly that you shipped out?
It was like single games, some manual lots, some single things. I just want to get all of it together to show you guys like,
yeah, like it's
all that it is. But it was like 2 full bins of like double bubble type envelopes, then a few boxes. There's some manual lots. I'll show you the manual lots.
I just showed them.
Okay, so
but so explain like why do we do fire sales?
we can get rid of this much inventory in like 2 minutes. So it's really nice to get rid of, like, we can clear off this
Literally,
shelf. Like, we need to go through this.
We could do another whatnot auction and clear off this whole shelf.
Like, this is a lot of interesting stuff. Actually, I
It is. I'm very interested by the NES and.
Well, yeah, people have been asking for retro
64.
stuff. So this would be
interested on these possibly sealed Game Gears.
Yeah, Game Gear games.
Oh, that one's busted now.
Well,
yeah, just a lot of interesting stuff. Got these 64 packs here, guys. Like, I mean, we just have so many
a lot of stuff. That's unprocessed too. You're right.
That's unprocessed. These are all unprocessed. Everything down there is unprocessed.
So, like the game with all this is, aside from them being games, the game here is saving processing time. We could try and get top dollar for absolutely everything, put it all on eBay or Amazon, but it just ends up not being worth our time. So we would much rather sell it at a for sure good price for other people to either flip themselves, or maybe they want filler games. Like, we have dozens of Instagram messages just saying, hey, I'm looking to fill my NES wall. I need a bunch of filler stuff. Do you have any? Well, this is like the very last bit of NES stuff that we have. Makes more sense just to do a fire sale at this point. But there's still some good games that we can pick through, like Castlevania. That's probably a good one for Amazon. Turtles 3, the Manhattan Project. I think
nice.
that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
And then, like, we just have all this stuff.
Yeah, because we just deemed, you know, like an $8 game, we'd rather sell for $3 versus have it sit.
Yeah, have it sit, or like either on our Amazon or on our eBay inventory wall, which we've already established. Like, two shelves of these fills up 1 bin. We have very limited. I mean, we have the entire shelf wall. But all that being said, it takes a lot to go through all this stuff, which is why we're like, all right, let's give people a good deal and let's get it gone. There's a high demand for all of it, and so if it didn't sell, then we would price even lower, but it is selling because it's priced well. If we ran into issues, then we'd reevaluate, but we just haven't. We've done dozens of fire sales at this point and sold 10,000 games doing fire sales the way we've been doing. So
with all that being said, if you've now been doing reselling for a little while, it's important to try to gauge on what your per hour is. Like yourself, like do you earn $20, $30, $40, $50 an hour? To yourself, do you think what you're worth? Because like for us, listing an $8 game on eBay is not worth our time.
That's gonna profit $2 or $3.
If that, I mean, with the time that we are worth, we might actually end up losing money versus listing a $100 game on eBay. That's like why we do fire sales, because they're so quick to get everything out. It is worth our time.
So, and for eBay sellers, this looks more so like your average sales price is going to be kind of indicative of what that value is.
Right, yeah.
Our average, or our business per hour, or like business dollar per hour for eBay has gone up because we're listing higher and higher end stuff and just kind of scrapping the lower end stuff. Like if we're doing 10 a day, still high value, but if we weren't in a position to where we had if we weren't in a position to have 10 items a day, I think we would still prioritize doing 5 high-end items versus like 10 or 20 low-end items.
Right.
Because
just more worth our time.
Yeah.
Hello there.
So you just shipped out a bunch of manuals, right?
Yeah, so this is actually part of a bigger package. So we sold these lots of manuals. Alpal showed you, so like this is an NES lot. It's all NES manuals. Somebody bought 6 lots of stuff. There was 2 Game Boy, 1 Game Boy Color, 1 PSP and PS2, 1 PS1, and DS, if I didn't already say that. So those are all in here, but he ordered more. So this person also ordered this box and this box. So I decided
what did that box sell for, by the way?
This box sold for like 50-ish or something like that. It's a clean box. It's got all the inserts and things like that. So people just like boxes for the collection, or they want to complete their system that they have. Then there was this Wii box that sold. So I packaged up the manuals separately because there were so many. And also I didn't want to put them in here. I did think about that, but it was just kind of weird. I would rather have it nice, tightly packed here, but I also didn't want to just have a big box, have these like stacked and then just random manuals around, because all of them are in really nice condition. So I will probably just have this as a separate box, just in the box sideways, however it's best going to fit. Pack it full of craft paper, maybe bubble wrap this one, I don't know. They're not very loose inside either, so there's not like a ton of rattle in any of them, but that's just how I do that. Otherwise, if they were a bunch of manuals, I would probably, like if this one sold to just a single person, I'd probably honestly bubble wrap them just a little bit, just tight enough to where they can stay together, because if you have a bunch of manuals and you just put craft paper all around them, they might shift around. And since they are in really good condition, and that was like a big selling point, I want to keep them a little bit nicer so they're not bumping in and getting folded by the craft paper just a little bit. So just like one wrap maybe to keep it nice and tight together, followed by a ton of craft to then pack it down. So it's been a few hours.
Everything shipped out for eBay. Okay. Now I'm trying to get as many, like I'm trying to scourge around for quick listings for eBay, because I'm trying to free myself up for the rest of the week.
Okay. So we're kind of sacrificing average sales price. You know, the thing we were talking about earlier, but we have to. Sometimes.
Here's the thing. Average sales price is important for eBay. But as a whole, the business has multiple different things. And we just want to maximize as much as we can the business as a whole. And right now we have 2 giant whatnot auctions that are coming up. So while filming this, and those are going to be the top priority. So we don't want to sacrifice 10 a day on eBay, because that will help all the good items that we have listed do well. But yeah, if we can this week just get quicker listings out, that would be smart. But you might find some, you know, $50 to $100 PS1
Sure,
games.
yeah.
These are fully unprocessed.
Well, there's like some retro stuff over there. We found the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 for the NES.
Yeah.
Is that a good one?
Yeah. I mean, but that's probably Amazon. Like I would.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So parameters for eBay a little bit different. Like I like selling games on eBay that are like
High demand, sell in a week.
maybe even they're low supply, right? So the rarer games that maybe the average buyer won't just go onto Amazon and buy. So boxed cartridge games, but also like obscure PS1 games. Tomba, for example. I don't know if this one is worth selling on Amazon. I know this one is
MDK.
pretty expensive.
What the heck is that thing?
MDK. Like this one's good, and that one would probably be worth selling on Amazon. But basically, like fast sellers, we want to put on Amazon, but valuable non-fast sellers, we want to put on eBay to cater to the collectors. So that's your goal.
Yep, that's fine.
That'll do.
We still have more Whatnot stuff to ship. Like all this.
Yeah, maybe you can like try to make a nice stack of Whatnot Buy It Nows too.
Yeah.
As you're going through, like 3 birds with 1 stone, Amazon, Whatnot, and eBay. Feed them all.
It's been a busy day. We started listing on eBay and Amazon. Thank you, Alpal. But we got pretty much everything shipped out, including a massive order of like 420 games, which was pretty crazy. And yes, it was that amount. And then we have all those. We just have one more order, Matt. Let's see what we got. All of this, Japorium. Thank you for buying. There's 1, 2, 3 tubs. We're going to get that shipped out, and that's the end of the video. Bye.